All right, man. AJ.
It's that time, Leon.
It's that time, man. Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Change Mindset, man. And this time, we got somebody special in here, man. Got somebody special.
Is he special?
I believe so, man. I believe so. I believe so, man. He's a man that's seen things and done a lot of things as well, man.
I don't know, Leon. I might have to study for his cologne because he can't be expensive.
Nah, for real. And you know what they say?
So that's what I say. He's special.
Can't hide money, man. Nah,
That's what I'm saying.
So today, man, we got Mustafa, man. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, so I'm not gonna mess it up.
It's Hooten.
Hooten.
H-O-O-T-E-N. Hooten.
Mustafa Hooten, man. Where you from, AJ?
He said he from up north.
He from up north, man.
You know what I'm saying? But his baby girl said Jersey, so I don't know. You know, where baby girl from.
I'm born and raised in East Orange, New Jersey.
Okay.
Jersey in the house.
Yeah.
So, you know, Mustafa's done a lot, man. Poet.
For the kids.
Say it again.
A poet.
A poet? No, I'm not a poet.
No, but you have been. No?
You know,
A little bit. You dabble.
Freestyle off the top of the head.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Egyptian intellectual. I'm messing up that whole word, right?
Where's that coming from?
Some that I saw on your page. You know, I did a little research.
You on the right page?
Yeah. I'm supposed to be.
He said he did that back in I don't know when.
But nah, man, we have Mustafa, man, and just like his name, man, I know he lives up to it, man. So Mustafa, man, let everybody know who you are, who you from, man, what you got going on.
Mustafa Hooten. My company's D1 Media Pro, #1 live stream in the country.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an independent producer with the National Federation for High School Sports. I've been live streaming since 2017. And I've been coming down to the Charlotte area. I started the spring COVID season, so 2021. And I've been coming back and forth covering games. I started here in Charlotte. I've been up to Shelby and New Bern, and I mean all across North Carolina. I have my daughter. She produces a lot of the games up in the Greensboro area. Mm-hmm. And you know myself, I'm based in New Jersey. A lot of my that's my start, and a lot of my current clients are in New Jersey. But you know it just makes more sense to invest more time and spend more time down here in North Carolina.
So how did you get into something like that? You know what I'm saying? Because you know. That really takes courage to have a big heart to look out for, you know, kids. It's not yours, you know what I'm saying, and for the community. So how did you get into that?
It's funny you asked that. Well, you know, when I first started shoot with pictures. When I first started, live stream didn't exist. And it's funny that you said working with kids because like my oldest daughter has 2 younger brothers, mm-hmm. and you know I had an apartment their mom rented from me, and you know, while their mom was at work, I was like, these kids just sit in the house. Let me sign them up for football. Let them do something. Mm-hmm. So me signing them up for football turned into me coaching. Mm-hmm. And then for me coaching, like my daughter used to film the games, and after my game, I would film the other team's games, and you know that's when I started getting into photography. Even the photography, I started with amateur boxing. And if you know anything about amateur boxing, you're from Trenton, so you know Goss and Goss. Mm-hmm. They are a staple in Trenton. Yeah. Goss and Goss boxing. But that's why I started amateur boxing. And when you shoot amateur boxing, you can't use a flash. You have to, usually in a poorly lit high school gym, so you have to have the right equipment in order to get a good picture. Mm-hmm. So everything just like it evolved naturally. Working with kids, volunteering. So when I first started doing this, I wasn't getting a dime doing this. And as I kept developing, one parent introduced me to the coach at East Orange High School, Marion Bell, and I started filming for the high school. And like one of the one of the first highlight videos I did. Like I used to record the games and upload the huddle. But at the end of the year, we did highlights for the seniors. One of the first videos I did was Russell Douglas, who turned out to be a Super Bowl champion.
Yep.
He's still in the league. Played with the Eagles, Patriots, Bills. So you never know. I had no idea my work would have that profound effect on people. And when I first started, I was just football.
Yeah.
I was just doing football. Then, coach a league, go to another school. So I'm doing Easton, I'm doing Barrington, I'm doing Belleville. Next thing I'm doing 20 schools.
Right.
Yeah, I got the staff to cover it, cameras, and send the kids out. And the hard part is just finding good kids that have to look over their shoulder, worry about where they at. They do their job, show up, and this is still before the live streaming. So there was another gentleman by the name of Pookie Gist. Pookie Gist he's the older brother of KG from Naughty by Nature. But I've known Pookie all my life and had no idea. He was like Pookie. Put it like this: Pookie never told me anything about his basketball accolades.
Right.
It was always other people. Pookie is so humble and quiet, but Pookie is the one who showed me how to watch and break down basketball film. So his son was at a school called Roselle Catholic, which was a national power in basketball. And they had Isaiah Briscoes, Nas Reed, who plays for the Timberwolves. Like I used to take him to school, but it was the other kids. It was the role players that I had to make videos for to help them get to school. And there was one kid by the name of Galando Cease. Now Galando Cease, he averaged like maybe 2 points a game.
Yeah.
But he was like your Dennis Rodman, your Draymond Green, your Junkyard Dog. Not that he gonna kick people in the nuts,
right?
Nah,
but he did
good defense.
He did the little things to help you win.
Yeah.
He'll block a shot, take a charge, get that rebound. And like I remember,
he knew his role.
He knew his role. And I remember when the coach said to me, "I never seen a highlight video where a guy took 4 charges." He was 6'8", he was a big guy, but he was never gonna be a kid that's gonna score 20 points a game.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of kids don't realize when they get to college.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people who score 20 points a game and don't have the D1 offer.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a kid that averaged 20 rebounds and not have a D1 offer.
Facts,
So
yeah.
you gotta do other things other than score to help you win the games. And that's what I learned from Pookie, and from him showing me how to watch basketball,
right?
To know what basketball is, to know what basketball is supposed to look like. I was never like a standout basketball player, but from doing the video, I know what good basketball is, I know what bad basketball is,
right?
And it's all been like a natural evolution. So even with Roselle Catholic, they went away to this tournament called Slam Dunk at the Beach, and I couldn't go because NFL Chess was live streaming.
Yeah.
So I just happened to go on the website and say, "Do you want to be a producer?" And I clicked the button, and this lady called me, and they sent me some paperwork, and sent me a Star Attack and an Elgato, which is a video capture device. Didn't tell me how to use it.
Yeah.
But it was my good friend Juan, may he rest in peace, that he taught me.
Yeah,
we put everything together.
Uh-huh.
And when I first live streamed, I thought I discovered fire. I was like, man, hold on, I created the wheel. It was awesome because when I first started live streaming, no one knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is this? Oh, we don't do that.
Yeah.
But some people saw the future.
Mm-hmm.
I started out with one live stream kid. I was like doing Roselle Catholic, and they had a playoff game. And hey, can you go up to Gill and do that game? So I bought another set, and after that game ended, they're sitting there watching the team they're gonna play. So it became like a scouting tool. And then I started getting kids that want to be involved in it. Because when I first started, I was doing the camera, I was doing the computer, I was talking.
Yeah, wow. One-man crew.
I was the one-man gang. And I still do that. If I'm short-handed, I gotta make a game. I have no problem going out there doing it myself. It's a little headache. It's more help. It's better when you have more help with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no problem doing this on my own.
Right. So what were you doing before you got into D1 Media?
Before I did this, I was an accountant.
Okay.
You know, I went to school for accounting. I worked in public accounting. I worked for a company called Mitchell and Titus, which was the largest black-owned accounting firm in the country.
That's dope.
I worked with from E to DMX to Johnny Cochran to Bad Boy, Yolanda Adams, Gerald Levert. It's literally too many names.
You seen them, yeah. That's crazy.
Busta Rhymes. You know, I still work with him.
Mm-hmm. The list go on and on.
I'm getting some people. Right. Lil Wayne.
Yeah. So what school did you go? What college did you graduate from?
Montclair State University.
Okay. So now that you said you was successful, you went to school, you graduated, you're successful accountant. What was your changed mind, right? Doing something that you was guaranteed you had a career in it, and how long you was doing your accounting? I
graduated college in '99, and I mean I still do accounting to this day, but
for that firm
for about 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so how was that going from you're kind of steady in the game now. You're seeing all those prolific figures and everything like that, and then you kind of was taking a risk or taking a chance rather. So what was that changed mindset that happened where you like, you know what, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna go full force on into D1 Media or into media space?
So like even when I left the firm, I was out on my own for a while. I was still doing accounting, but the music industry is like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
When it's great, it's great.
Yeah.
When it's not, it's not. So what happens is clients leave, clients go broke. Other bigger firms poach your clients. So when I was at my low point as far as the account, I said I want to do something that I enjoy, that I love, and that's when I got serious with the photography and video. And I mean it was definitely a work in progress. It doesn't happen overnight. You start learning how to take pictures, and I never took a class on photography. Everything I learned was from reading, from YouTube, from working with other photographers. And you kind of develop an eye, and you know what to do, how to get that shot. So I wanted to do something I enjoyed, and as an accountant, I didn't become an accountant to be someone's employee.
Yeah.
If you're working for a firm where you on retainer, no matter how much work you do, you don't do, your retainer's the same.
Yeah. Okay.
With the photography, the video, the live streaming, the more I work, the more I produce, the more revenue I generate.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like you are what you kill, you eat what you kill.
Eat what you kill.
Yeah, that's dope. So would you say, right? Because like there's education where you can go to school for film production and stuff like that, right? You didn't take that route. You took the route of you pretty much learn as you go and perfecting the craft as you go on, right? Would you say it kind of benefits you more because you kind of fell in love with the process a little bit more rather than going to college and getting I guess you can say the proper way to do it?
Yeah, well, yes and no. Like in college, I took a couple of film classes, but film was like actual film,
right?
Like you had to go develop it.
Yeah.
But it teaches the kind of like the basics of the fundamentals of filming, like telling the picture without words, telling the story without words, just from the images and the way you sequence it, and with the filming, it just like really just happened naturally and organically. I wish I would have went to school because even some of the kids I work with, when I see them, they do their little edits. Like they know way more than me. Trust me. Yeah. they like some of the kids I work with, they know a lot more than me. They're smarter. Especially with the social media and the internet. Yeah. They're just very very savvy, and I love to see them blossom and nurture. Like a lot of kids that work for me, I have kids as young as the 7th grade,
wow,
high school students, college students, teachers that work with me, and everyone has their own unique talent, and I learn from everyone I work with. some people aren't technically savvy as others. And,
Yeah.
it's frustrating sometimes, and I may blow up, but
So I want to know, right? How was it growing up in Jersey? You know what I'm saying?
growing up in Jersey was great, man. I didn't know I lived in a hood until I got older.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm from East Orange, and they say all the bad things about the inner city, but look, man, we had baseball teams, we had fun in the park. I grew up down the street from Nordic by Nature. I mean, it was.
So how was it, growing up and seeing the evolve of hip hop? You know what I'm saying, and seeing where hip hop was coming from and where it was going. You say you graduated around '99, so.
I graduated college in '99, but
that's when like hip hop was at its peak,
definitely at its peak. Just growing around the neighborhood when Naughty blew up, hip hop ran OPP.
Mm-hmm.
It brought a sense of pride to the neighborhood. A lot of people stopped selling drugs and they wanted to be rappers. I mean, and that's a good thing. Like they were doing something positive. And, like even some of the people I grew up with, like some people get caught up in the streets and they may do bad things, but you can't turn your back or look down upon anybody because everyone has a chance to turn their life around.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of those same kids who were high school dropouts or quote unquote drug dealers, some of them got master's degrees and they're very smart. It wasn't that they were stupid, but when you 13, 14 years old making $1,000 a day, like you like, man, later for school, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's some of my friends didn't make it, but the ones that did, I'm very proud of them.
So how was it for you to, not to get involved with in the crowd, and you see
I didn't say I didn't get involved, but
I was saying you went to college though. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely went to college. I was a pretty.
You was in there.
I was a pretty good student in high school. I mean, but growing up, that was like kind of the thing to do sometimes. I remember I was
good at being bad, even better at not getting caught.
let me. I'm gonna tell you a story that got me out the streets.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were supposed to be doing an 8th grade talent show. I was going to South Orange Middle at one time, so we were supposed to be the 8th grade talent show. So me and my friend Veda, and I'll tell you who Veda is later on.
Yeah.
But Veda is very notable. But me and Veda had went uptown. We went to cop, and we came back, and we was on the block. I was like, yo, we gonna get this money, we gonna get rich.
Yeah.
Man, this guy came out trying to rob me. It just finished raining, so I started running.
Yeah.
Fell in the middle of the street. Got up. Ran behind a building, just running. You know how they say you're so scared you almost shit on yourself?
Yeah.
I felt it coming out. So I'm dipping and dodging, cutting through backyards, and another car jumps the curb. Hey, freeze, police! But it wasn't the police. I'm running through. Then I went to I made the 15 shoot to my friend Malik Triple House. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
Yeah, and I'm banging on the door. They sit there call loud and I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? So, this guy's trying to rob me. So they ended up taking me home. And,
to the dope, you dropped it?
Huh?
You dropped the dope?
I don't remember what happened with the dope.
You just ran.
I remember getting home and, my chest pounding. Listen, I gotta call the police. These guys trying to rob me. I was like, hold on, I can't call the police.
And you in the 8th grade? You grown as hell?
Yeah.
Gotta do it though.
Yeah, we was in the 8th. We was.
It's like 13,
14 years old.
Yeah, that's a grown man though trying to get you.
No, but that's what it was back then. Like, the kids didn't make it to high school because they was making money. Like, they had the Chevettes and the Omnis and the CRXs with the rims and the music. That was the thing to do. Like, you in high school, you got your, like the paid in full, the rich quarter.
Yeah.
That was in every ghetto in America.
Yeah.
It's just sad that we glorify it. But the thing that they don't glorify is the fact that they either die or go to jail, or they come home from jail. They come home from jail broke.
Yeah.
All of them come home broke.
Yeah. Dang.
So it's like it's not worth it at the end of the day. But again, you always have a chance to change your life around.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think like back then that hip hop was gonna be what it is now?
Yeah, I kind of see. Well, some people will say hip hop is in a bad place right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Because you grew up with conscious rappers. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Queen Latifah's,
Yeah.
MC Light,
MC Light, Lakim Shabazz, Poor Righteous Teachers,
Yo,
Yo.
Shantae.
So it was, you know, rappers. I remember when rappers didn't curse on their albums, like, you know,
Now every other word.
it was frowned upon to curse, and you know, because it's like you don't have a vocabulary to articulate yourself other than cursing. So cursing wasn't a big thing until later on. But you know, they like a lot of the older folks, they want to knock the new guys, but it was the same thing we was growing up. Our parents were saying the same thing about our music. Like, what the hell are they saying?
It's nonsense.
The bippity boppity boop, and you know. But like Young Boy's like one of my favorite rappers. Like I love NBA Young Boy.
And that's what I want to get to, right? That was so interesting because, you know, with you helping, you know, with the kids, with the media and all that, and you're still being relatable. That's what I think is so unique about, you know, this generation of our elders. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that that's what you usually listen to Young Boy. I mean, when I was growing up, grandma was only listening to church music. That was it.
Oh no, yeah.
She wasn't even trying to. BT was blocked.
So let me tell you a story. Like my grandfather he used to love Muddy Waters.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't understand, like you if Muddy Waters came on TV, you try to turn the station, you may lose your hand.
What?
But it wasn't until I saw the movie, I saw the story, and you know I started doing research about Muddy Waters. I was like, yo, that was the Chris Brown of his era. You know, he was the shit. You know, and so you know it was now that I understand that. But you know, although he was the shit of his era, people didn't like him. Like you know, they were into the church, like your grandmother. They didn't. You know, we don't listen to the devil's music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people say. Like you know, you listen to the devil's music, but in a certain way, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not gonna get religious.
So back then, with all that going on, right? Was you a picture guy back then, or not?
Nah, I probably didn't serious with the photos till about 2006, 2007. I was, you know, I was in school. I was studying accounting. I was an entrepreneur. Like in high school, I used to sell ties and socks. I used to breed dogs. I was the neighborhood veterinarian. Like you know, people would come to me and say, get a dog 6-in-1 shots. I had rabies shots. I had penicillin if your dog got injured. Like you know,
He was an up north hustler, whatever you need.
No, but I knew I wanted to be a veterinarian at one time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I was into breeding dogs. I had pit bulls. I had American bulldogs. You know, once I started doing accounting, I just didn't have time to dedicate to taking care of the dogs because I was, you know, out in the city all the time.
Yeah. So from New Jersey, you did accounting and then you started doing your videography. How did you transition your way from New Jersey to North Carolina? Like how did you make that connection to come
Hakeem
down?
Holloway.
Okay.
So Hakeem Holloway is my cousin.
Okay.
And you know, he called me up. This is during COVID because they canceled the fall football season in North Carolina, and they had it in the spring. He was like, "Yo, you need to get down here, and because they got spring football. North Carolina football is all that." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna come check it out because like this is like COVID was a funny time, but our basketball season had just ended in New Jersey, so I took a trip down to North Carolina." And the first game I did was Mallet Creek and Vance. Mm-hmm. So that's like a big rivalry game. But in that game, like I saw Dylan Smothers, who's at NC State, he was a sophomore. Mm-hmm. James Pierce, who just got drafted to the number 7 in the NFL lottery, he played on that team. Kevin Concepcion, he's at Texas right now. So there were a lot of great athletes that I saw, you know, in North Carolina. And like when I first saw Dylan Smothers, I was like, oh,
He gone.
He's about that life.
Yeah.
He just one move, boom. I was like, oh no, he's special.
Yeah.
And James Pierce, he was just like a man child, 6'7", just
Yeah.
But just seeing all the talent around North Carolina, from going to Huff to going to Shelby and Kings Mountain, the Battle of Buffalo Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And look, that game was crazy with limited fans.
Yeah.
Like the 80s in Charlotte, they've been showing me great love. Shout out to Stephanie Wilkinson over the Olympic, Chris Satterfield, Bailey, Carlos Richardson, who's now at South Point. I just had a great relationship and a great rapport with all the administrators and down here in North Carolina. They welcome me with open arms, and they love the work that I do. I even be sitting at a restaurant one time. I was like, "Hey, are you the guy that did such and such a game?" And I'm from Raleigh. Like, "Yo, are you the guy that did Bill Brook in New Bern?" I said, "Yeah, that was me, man. That was me."
That's dope, man. So being from North Carolina, right? And you've traveled around the state, different states, videographing the games and everything, right? There's a stigma, I feel like, that is on North Carolina football, right? Because they say North Carolina is just mainly known for basketball too, but I feel like we got some good football players here.
Y'all have some solid football players.
Yeah, I just feel like we don't get enough, because North Carolina is so spread out. It's hard for a lot of players to get notoriety or to get that film on them, or they just don't necessarily know how to push themselves out there. I just want to see what your take is on it.
Nah, the North Carolina is definitely known as a hoop state.
Yeah.
But they definitely have a lot of talent in football. And what's crazy is I barely touched basketball in North Carolina.
Yeah.
My daughter did a couple of games, and she did Dudley and Benell Smith, and she was out in Breesville with Kendry Harrison, Deontay Neal. It's just so much talent. Like you said, it's just spread out. You may have to drive 2 hours in each direction, to go see one of these players. And I always followed it. Like the kid is at Duke now. I can't think of his name, but he went to North Met. But he was just a talented kid. I haven't seen him in person, but I used to see him on the network or watch him play. And I thought, oh man, his jump was just smooth as silk.
Yeah.
So do you scout the players, or pretty much it's like a word of mouth?
I'm not a coach. I have no reason to scout.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you taking pictures, right, or you just taking pictures of the game, or it's like a specific player?
I never take not unless someone's paying me to cover a specific player. When I take photos of a basketball game, I try to capture all the action around. You know what I like to take pictures of? The referees.
What?
I love the referees. Because without them, none of this is possible. So I have a page on Facebook called Real Wrestling New Jersey. And I do that because when I first started, the referees were the one watching my games because they want to see if they made the right call. Was it a block or a charge? Or, they're very critical of their own work. Never mind what the fans say. 99.9% of the referees, they want to get every call right. It's virtually impossible, but you have to be a certain type of person to be a referee, and a lot of these referees are firemen, judges, policemen, teachers. So these are upstanding people in the community, and they shouldn't be ridiculed. And I know fans are going to be fans, but I have a great deal of respect for the referees. I used to cover a lot of their clinics, so if I'm speaking on a block or a charge, it's because I was at the clinic and I know the correct terminology. The ABCs of officiating: accountability, believability, and credibility. You can make a bad call, but you have those. You got those. Yeah, it's they're gonna go with it. But big shout out and big respect to all the referees, and I try to encourage kids to become referees because you never know, you may wind up in the NBA or the NFL officiating, but it's always gonna be money there, and it's just a good thing. You're getting paid, you're helping your community.
You stay around the game too.
You staying involved, you staying in shape. You gotta be in shape. You gotta run up and down the field. You gotta be careful.
And I also see that you do lacrosse too.
I do everything played in high school.
Yeah, so how do you get into the lacrosse? Because a lot of people is sleeping on it, but I hear that lacrosse is getting a little...
Lacrosse is huge in North Jersey. And so...
Can we take a break?
A lot of lacrosse. And you say it's big up in Jersey.
Yeah, lacrosse is big in New Jersey. Like, Seton Hall Prep is probably top 10 in the country. You know, we say the athletes out of Melville, New York, another top 10 program. So we see a lot of great lacrosse. And you know who's one of the greatest lacrosse players of all time is?
Who?
Jim Brown,
Hmm.
the football player.
Yeah.
You know, if you follow lacrosse, imagine somebody as big as Jim Brown.
Yeah, that's kind of unstoppable force.
Yeah,
She ain't
so-
gonna be able to-
And you know, it's we don't like everyone wants to play basketball and football. There's a lot of scholarship money in lacrosse.
Yeah.
A lot of scholarship money.
Do you feel do you feel that lacrosse don't get its respect because it's not a contact sport?
Who said it's
Yeah,
not
no,
contact sport?
lacrosse is
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
contact.
Lacrosse is a very
Very.
contact sport.
Yeah.
Well, why
They have padding and all. Like, it gets crazy.
I've seen kids get their head taken off in lacrosse. Like when
Yeah.
you start some big time lacrosse programs, the Don Boscos, and they got linebackers running up and down the field and open field checks.
Yeah.
Lacrosse is very contact. It's hockey on grass.
Yeah.
So why it doesn't get the publicity as it should?
I mean, because it's probably considered like a prep kid sport,
Yeah.
or, you know, a rich kid sport. I mean, and it is, so to speak, because like the sticks and the helmets are very expensive. But you know, if they start putting, if lacrosse start flourishing in the city, we'll take it over like we
Yeah.
take over basketball.
Nah, really though.
Nah,
Really.
seriously.
No, I know. I was being happy because I'm thinking about, you know, our 16-year-old compared to their 60-year-old.
Well,
But you could be any size in lacrosse. You can be big, small, but
Yeah.
you gotta be fast. You gotta be quick. You gotta
that hand-eye
you
coordination.
got coordination.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
So it's something for everybody there. But no, I love lacrosse, and I regret not playing lacrosse growing up because I remember, I was at Columbia High School. My friend Khalil, he's like, "Yo, you should come out and play lacrosse." I'm like, "Man, that's cool. You ain't playing no lacrosse." But now as an adult, I regret not playing it because I see how much. That's the thing when I come to these games. I see how much fun the kids are having. Like, I love hockey because like the kids are just knocking each other across the ice and they're having fun. But with lacrosse, a lot of kids like Mountain Lakes is another team in Jersey. Half their football team plays lacrosse. So it's another way to keep them in shape, keep them engaged. And like I said, there's a lot of scholarship money in lacrosse. There was a player at Seton Hall Prep basketball player who was the star lacrosse player on the team, and he's at Notre Dame, just won a national championship in lacrosse.
So another question, right? So what would you say the main difference is between up north and down south when it comes to sports?
It is night and day.
Yeah.
Really?
Night and day. I've covered teams up north. You have your big parochials, the Bergen Catholic, St. Peter's, Don Bosco's. Even Weequahic, which is one of the teams I cover in North, like they were undefeated, great season, but you don't get the crowds like you do down south. The people. I guess it's too much happening up north, and they can't devote their attention to high school football.
Right.
And I would say that's in North Jersey because once I started traveling south to like there's towns like Millville and Winslow. Oh, their football culture is serious.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's the culture's serious. Even Western PA. So you can't say necessarily north, but there's certain parts of Jersey. Of course, like the parochials, they get the crowds, but when I started coming down south, it's totally different. I've never seen like the Mallard Creek and Vance energy or the New Bern Millbrook energy at a high school game in New Jersey. Now we get great crowds, but the energy is just different. Like, but you get that great crowd for like the Thanksgiving game, like with Shabazz and Week.
Everybody's off.
Yeah, everyone's off. But nah, I remember going to Millbrook and I'm talking to somebody. Like, hey, you got a son playing? Like, nah, I'm just from down the road. Just here to support. Just here to watch some good football.
Yeah.
So even when I'm driving in New Bern, I'm listening to the radio. They're talking about the football game on the radio.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I could just listen to the radio and get my notes. They don't do that enough. You hear high school football. They have a radio show that comes on Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And and it's watered down. They only talk about the parochial schools, the Bergens,
Yeah.
They kind of thumb their nose at the inner city schools.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I got involved, because I wanted to show light to the inner city kids. I remember going to a media day. We had Shabazz with Coach Grant, 2 state championships, but all the media guys are running to the coach from Verona, or I'm like, yo, what kind of respect is that?
Right. So, what would you say about the skill of play?
The skill of play. I would say I got more big boys down here.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I met Curtis Neal. I think he went to Wisconsin. I thought he was a coach.
Why? Because he was so big, right?
He was big,
massive, yeah.
Had a mustache and beard. I'm like, oh man, this
country fair boy.
Yeah, a lot of big boys down here. I got down here after what's the boy from plays for the Eagles, Jordan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I first came down here, one of my first announcers was a guy named L.J. Smith, because I remember calling the AD, and I was like, "Yo, I got L.J. Smith in the broadcast." And it's like this whole mood. You got L.J. Smith, 3-time champ, Mr. Football, Mallard Creek, and people like that. It's just that's what doing this has done. Like it's I come across great people. Great kids, great families, and people who appreciate what you do, and kids that want to pursue this as a living, as a career, and it's just like I love seeing these kids flourish. They graduate, they make their reels, they're Syracuse, Ohio State, Pitt, Rutgers, Cornell. They go to good schools.
Yeah.
And then you see them participating in the broadcast program. One kid was just doing the camera for me last year. Now he is.
I know what's going on with it. I'm sorry.
All right.
I do not know what's going on with my phone today.
You eventually gonna have to upgrade.
Yeah, I know.
Get an actual camera.
Yeah.
So it's a site that I use that's where I get a lot of my stuff called mpb.com. You could get a lot of stuff used. You could trade a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to just get a. Make sure you're in the. There you go. You should be good right now. You should. Sorry about the 2 breaks, man. I'm sorry.
That's cool. I ain't got nothing to do Friday.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna do a JV game Thursday.
Okay.
And that's another JV football down here. Oh, JV football is crazy down here.
Yeah.
So like the difference in North Carolina and New Jersey. New Jersey, we have freshman football. There's no freshman football here in North Carolina. So everyone who
New Bern used to have one, and New Hanover used to have one.
They have freshman football.
Yeah, but they don't do it no more.
I don't know. I know they just had a issue at Mallard Creek where they had to cut a lot of players. But again, you don't have freshman football.
Yeah.
And that's one thing they don't do up north. They don't cut kids, because we want kids in the program, not out on the streets.
Yeah.
So long as they doing something positive, and that's what we want to say. So they don't cut kids up north.
So when was that moment when you was on to something and you had to bring on a team? Like, when was that moment when you felt the pressure of the demand of, hey, can you come here and watch this game? Hey, can you come here? Like, when was that moment? What year was that?
It was probably more like during COVID, because there was some schools some districts were prepared for it. Like for example, like West Orange, they had contacted me like in the summertime, like, oh, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. So I was able to plan, put the people in place so I could cover the soccer, boys and girls soccer, football, even hockey during the fall. Then another district, like they called me maybe 3 days before the season started.
Oh, wow.
You know, they wanted me to cover all the basketball games, and I think I covered them all but one.
Okay.
So did you think it would take you this far when you first started?
I had no idea. Like, you know, I tell people all the time, like, you know, 10 years ago, I couldn't even tell you what I'll be doing this because this didn't exist 10 years ago. You know, it's a lot of it. You know, you got to thank the man upstairs because you know he puts you in these places, and a lot of times you know even something tragic may happen to you. There's always a silver lining or a benefit from it. You know, just even my story coming down here, why I'm down here so much. Even with my daughter, like you know, she had her transgressions, but you know, she's thriving now. She's working, doing positive things. She's happy. She's doing a thing with a comedy.
Yeah.
You know, so I came down here last week. Went to a show in Columbia, South Carolina. The next day, I have another nephew that raps, so he had a show up in Raleigh. So, you know, I went to Raleigh, saw him perform and supported him, and you know, I love it, man. You know, I even like the energy in Raleigh. That was my first time in downtown. I'm like, oh wow, man.
Yeah, Raleigh's coming up, man.
Raleigh's coming up. So what was that moment when you said, "Hey, I need to get me a team because that's what this gotta get. But it's gonna get bigger."
Yeah, I mean, it's when like I said, I first started 2017, 2018. Then like it just like naturally started growing. Like the more equipment I buy, the more games that the coaches wanted me to cover, and I was training students. Like some of my biggest games were covered by high school students. You know, I teach them what to do, show them what to do, and what's crazy is the high school kids are a lot better than some of the adults.
That's crazy.
And how does it make you feel like, you know, when you see those children or the kids that actually go all the way? You know what I'm saying? You just like, wow, you know, I remember, you know, when I went to he or she game, you know, and they started like that. Like, how did that moment make you feel?
It's definitely gratifying, and you know, you're proud of all the kids, especially the ones you have a tight relationship with. But what's crazy is there's a lot of kids that have no idea that I help. You know, I may get an email from a mother or you know one of their parents. Hey, can you send me such and such a game? You know, I have a college looking at my son, and I just send it. Like I'm not trying to charge nobody for games that people already pay me to watch for. But it's about helping that kid get to the next level, whether on the court, off the court. You know, I have success stories on both ends. And it doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Chinese, Jewish, Indian, Hindu, Muslim, boy, girl. Everyone has the opportunity to work and succeed with me. Even some of the people I had in North Carolina, I had a girl, Kenzie McCain, who's at Huff, and she should be graduating in Tennessee now. Okay. But, you know, I just met her on the stands, and we were talking, and she said, I want to be on ESPN one day. I said, here, grab this mic.
That's cool, man. That's dope.
So do you only do North Carolina and Jersey right now?
I've been all over the country, but primarily North Carolina and Jersey. I'm trying to do a game August 30th in Virginia Beach. But, you know, working with the network, I've covered games in Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware, Virginia, Georgia. I haven't made it to Miami yet.
I'm about to say, I feel like, so I stayed in Florida for like 11, 12 years. I feel like you'd be real good in Florida. Not just like with high school, but honestly like not middle school, but recreation, because they don't have middle school sports. And so they go up all the way up until 9th grade. They can play in recreation ball.
Oh no, definitely Florida is different, man.
It is.
I want to see those kids with the gold teeth and dreads. the young Antonio Brown.
Man.
Because I mean that Florida football is like that.
It is, man. They start when they 4 years old, man.
Yeah, and I had a nephew who was on hook me up with the coach. Then a bunch of drama happened, but you know, I'm eventually gonna get down to Miami, and you know, I want to retire somewhere warm, and sunny, and I could just wake up and watch good football on Friday night.
So is your mission to always go to the coach first, or you go to the game? You know.
I always go to the athletic director first.
Okay.
The athletic directors are my gatekeepers. Those are the ones that
Okay.
allow me permission. They grant me the golden ticket to enter the game and set up, and my goal is to show their school in a good light, and capture good football, help some kid get noticed, because you never know who's watching.
Gotcha.
You never know who's watching, and it's fun, man. I love football.
So right now in your space, like, who are your like major competitors, right? Because I know like whenever it comes to championship time, doesn't like North Carolina High School Association do they record? 'Cause I know sometimes it's on like live TV.
With the network, we have partnerships with the state association.
Okay.
So if I'm doing a North Carolina playoff game, instead of D1 Media Pro on the screen, it's gonna say NCHSSA.
Gotcha.
And same thing in New Jersey. NJSLAA is their sanctioning body. So once it gets to the finals, sectional finals, and group finals, that's all state association.
Okay.
As far as competitors, ESPN2,
yeah,
Flow Sports,
yeah,
Showtime, YouTube basketball. Those are the only people that I consider competitors, because like those are the people that take the games that I want.
Gotcha.
Even what's driving me down here in New Jersey now, like NFHS used to have second tier rights in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have second tier rights no more, which is it's not a big deal.
And what's the second tier right? What is
Second tier. So we get second right refusal. So whatever NJ.com doesn't live stream or produce, we could pick up on the NFHS network. So we get that's second tier rights.
Okay.
So, but North Carolina NFHS first tier rights.
Mm-hmm.
And, other states, they have first tier rights. So, even my games in North Carolina, my playoff, like I did the Grimsley games. Grimsley just dwarfed anything I did in New Jersey. Like I could take the total combined views, and that Grimsley Weddington outdid that game, outperformed that game. Yeah. So it's the viewers, it's the engagement I get down here. I be feeling like I'm a celebrity sometimes,
Football is really big down here, though. Yeah. Football is really big.
Because that's like you're highlighting, you know what I'm saying, and you're putting, even though you say you're not a scout, but you're putting these kids in places and views of everybody can see their
talent.
some
light.
Yeah, like if a kid is balling out and he has a good game, I'm gonna post you. I'm gonna make a little highlight. I'm gonna put you on the gram.
You got to.
I'm gonna put you on the gram. And like again, like you get a lot of feedback from the parents. Oh, thank you for the kind words you said for my son. And that didn't cost me nothing.
Yeah.
And you never know what benefit that's gonna have for that kid, and that's my goal. I wanna have a positive impact on everyone I work with, everyone I'm in touch with.
So you've been doing this for a while. Do you see yourself going up higher in like to collegiate ball, or even like the Big Three now, stuff like that? I mean,
that's funny you said that. Like I try myself. Like I don't like to get on the microphone. I want the kids to do it. Like I connect with try to connect with the local people. But I get a lot of feedback when I commentate a game. People say, "Oh man, you're so funny."
Yeah.
I get in trouble sometimes. But I get a little too colorful sometimes. Like, they say I'm a little unfiltered, but you never know. Like I didn't expect to be broadcasting calling high school games, so you never know what opportunities may present themselves down the line. I definitely got a lot of inquiries about doing HBC football. Mm-hmm. But the thing with the colleges, most of the colleges have their own in-house live streaming and service, or they would Flow Sports runs a lot of the college.
That is true, but what about for CIAA? Because CIAA don't get a lot of coverage.
Look, man, anything can happen, man. I'm not gonna roll it out. I think they have the CIAs this year in Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my sister who does catering, shout out to Artistic Eating. But she got me on the media list, so I'm definitely gonna pull up to the CIAA this year.
That's what's up.
Okay, so I have a question. How do you deal with the weather though? Because football, weather.
Woo!
Yeah, you
You know what I'm
outside.
saying? So, like, how do you protect your equipment? How do you really protect yourself? Because football is cold.
Yes.
And you talking about up north too, so yeah.
First of all, the rain is not my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like if it's a rain game, you know, and it all depends on the facility. Some high school fields, you know, small little tiny press box, and you know we usually film on top. So if I'm outside in the elements, I gotta bring plastic bags. I gotta cover the equipment. I gotta cover the computer. And you know, I mean, I've done games in monsoons.
Mm.
You know, depending on how much space we have, I may get a little tent, little canopy tent. But the main thing is just keeping stuff covered in plastic and not letting the equipment get wet because it will get damaged. And I've lost, well, I don't say lost, but I've had a lot of equipment damage due to rain.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, kids not taking the precautions and taking care of the equipment.
So what would you tell a young person that would try to get into this type of industry? Like how would they go about doing that?
Call me.
Just call you.
No. So like even like I said, like I work with a lot of high school kids, and kids sometimes I may just put a camera in your hand and just say, hey, go have fun, go see what you can do, and that may spark an interest or a passion in that young man. Like a lot of the best pictures I've taken, well, I didn't take them, but I give a kid my camera, and you know, he's taking the photos of the games, and I upload them, and the kid does awesome work. And there's one particular kid, John Olatanji, you know, he's been working with me since high school, and even now, like I'm in North Carolina, so you know, if I had a client that needed a photographer, I'm gonna call John and set him up there. And, you know, I don't have to worry about John. He's gonna show up on time. He's gonna be professional. He's gonna do a great job. And you know, that's what I want to hear from everyone I work with. I want to get great feedback. Like, yo, he was awesome. Oh, she did a great job. Or you know, and that's my contribution to society. You know, helping build the future. You know, I used to work in a school, but they don't teach marketable skills in the school.
Mm-mm.
You know, if I'm teaching a kid how to you know, take photos and do videos and edit them, this is a kid in high school that can make $100, few $100 a day.
Yeah.
Make a few $1,000 a week in high school doing something legit that he's not risking his life, not gonna go to jail, he ain't gotta worry about the police over his shoulder, he ain't gotta worry about getting shot. God forbid.
Right.
Yeah.
God forbid. But you know, it's about giving a kid marketable skills and teach them something that could carry through life.
So, how long did it take you to get that eye? And like you said earlier that you didn't do photography then, but how was it for you to get that eye?
I think I've like always had that eye. Like I've always been a person that wants to help others. Like even, you know, from accounting, like I'm a member of the National Association of Black Accountants, just mentoring other young accountants and, you know, kids that want to have careers in the accounting field, and showing them alternatives, showing them different things you could do, different things you should learn, how you should apply yourself. I mean, I trust me, I made plenty of mistakes, and it was my older peers and my mentors that helped me to get where I am. So you have to give back. And one thing my uncle always said to me: never look down on somebody unless you're looking to lift them up.
Mm. Yeah. So with, you know, I want to touch back on with your media company. I know you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of games. You've seen a lot of ball being played.
Yeah, a lot of ball.
You know what I'm saying? So, what's your best memory of so far that you could think of?
Oh man, it's
or best game you like, man, I can't believe that game just happened. It was a crazy game. I know there's a ton. I know there's a ton.
So many games. Like I was saying the Millbrook New Bern game.
Mm-hmm.
Vance and Mallard Creek, you know, even some of the games up north, with St. Peter's, like some of their buzzer beaters. And what's funny is I don't even go to St. Peter's anymore. Like
Right.
I have a teacher, Bernardo Rodriguez, and his students. He I give them the equipment and they produce the games. And they had a couple of games that went viral where they made Sports Center #1.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So and what's crazy is the kid stopped playing basketball too. I can't think of his name, but he had this viral dunk. I sent it to you.
He stopped.
Yeah, he went to focus on football.
Ah, man.
But it's just so many games, and I only can't think because you're asking me. But, there's been great East Orange High games, Piscataway.
What's been your chippiest game?
My chippiest game?
Yeah.
Anything Linden, Roselle Catholic, Linden, Elizabeth.
Guaranteed, huh?
Linden, Plainfield, Elizabeth. That's Union County in New Jersey.
Okay.
So like Union County, they may arguably the best, one of the best counties in the country as far as basketball, especially when they have like the Roselle Catholic, the Elizabeth, the Lindens, Union Catholic is tough. Plainfield, Plainfield has had one of the best seasons in school history. A kid, Najee Hines, he's going to Seton Hall University. And even him, man, he I was watching him. He had 25 rebounds in the game.
That's crazy.
That's what I get impressed with stuff like that because like everybody not grabbing 25 rebounds.
They're not.
And like I said earlier, I never seen a kid that had 25 rebounds. 20 rebounds again, not get a D1 scholarship. This kid's going to Seton Hall University with Shaheem Holloway. Shaheem Holloway only recruits dogs. He's not recruiting your 5-star kid, Mr. Basketball.
Nah. He want a gritty kid that's going to go out and
get
get
it. Dogs. He want dogs.
Yep.
And do you see that now in the youth now?
No, you don't see too many dogs in the youth. You see mixtape highlight kids.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I tell kids all the time, like college coaches never ask me for a highlight tape. The highlight tape may get their attention, but then they want to see game film, and that's what I have. I have game film, so they want to see you throughout the whole game, not just your good plays. They want to see your bad plays. They want to see how you react from that bad play. They want to see how you interact with your teammates.
Yeah, how you progress it.
Yeah.
So throughout this whole process, you starting your company and everything, what's been your hardest lesson that you learned or you had to learn through?
Wi-Fi, internet, Wi-Fi signals. Like if you're in a big concrete building, the signal's not that great.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest challenge when I do a game. If I don't get a good signal, it's not gonna be a good broadcast. But worst case scenario, I upload it afterwards. But I still capture content. But I always like to be live because people are paying to watch. Mm-hmm. And I want to give them a good show. I want to give people their money's worth.
Yeah. What's your vision for D1 Media?
My vision, I want to be the John Madden of high school football. I want to have get a tour bus. I want to drive around the country to the biggest games. I want to go to St. Louis. I want to go to Michigan. I've been to Ohio. Ohio, that's definitely a big football country.
Yeah, it is.
I want to go to Florida. I want to go to
Texas. High school game days.
Yeah, I want to go to DeSoto. I want to be ESPN game day for high school.
That'd be dope, man.
Come Friday night, start at 4 o'clock.
Huh? Would you do the draft too?
Not so much draft. Maybe signing days. Like I've covered those in the past for a lot of kids. Just keep growing that. Maybe even doing stuff internationally. Like soccer. Soccer is big in Europe, and I just like I would like to see how that is, even in Africa.
Yeah. So I know you said you started off in boxing, right? Would you ever venture back because like UFC, you got all these other outlets of boxing. You got UFC, and then you got PFL, and all the other fighting companies. Would you ever venture out to do something like that?
I'm not saying I won't, but like even like when I do go to boxing matches, I enjoy going to the amateur shows.
Right. Yeah. I
And when I go to an amateur show, it's like almost like a family reunion because I know
you're gonna run into somebody.
I know all the guys and trainers and
Yeah.
like Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Like he was a kid when I first started, and but he was always the walkover champion. And, because no one could beat him. Like you 10 years old, you're 100 fights and one loss. And, so it's like you automatically walk over to the national show, but. You see a lot of great talent, and that made me respect boxing too, because like you may be watch a fight on TV, that guy's a bum, and that dude worked hard to be a bum.
Yeah.
Just to last that ring for 3 minutes like that. That's time. At first, I stepped in the ring. I'm like, hold on, he's still coming.
Yep.
Oh shit, he hit me back. But. You learn to relax. You learn to pace yourself because like you out here in the street. Most of those street fights last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But you in a boxing ring, you have to be able to think while you're tired, while you're getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
So you still gotta be able to think. You gotta be smart to be a boxer.
What you do when you get hit?
Yeah, how you react, what you do when you hurt.
Yeah.
How you gonna get your legs back together, how you get your faculties. It's a lot.
So have you ever wanted to just dedicate to just one team, or you just like to move around?
I wanna cover the best around. I'm not dedicated to one team, I'm not dedicated to one sport. Football season I cover football, basketball season I cover basketball, baseball season I cover baseball. I don't do AAU. I don't do the overtime. I don't do none of that stuff. Like I'm strictly high school. Because even all that overtime and these stuff, you see these kids leave and go to all these basketball factories. You go to a game, you playing in front of 30 people.
Yeah.
It's not that same.
It's not the real
high school the high school atmosphere. You're not going to your prom. High school basketball stops being fun. It becomes a business. It becomes work. And that's the difference. I don't even like the energy, the culture around that stuff. So you still got to be a kid. NBA ain't going nowhere. And everyone, we in a microwave society where everyone wants gratification tomorrow, but it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, that's it, because I would have thought, over the years that a school would approach you and say, hey, can you just film, our schools, you know what I'm saying? All the sports and stuff. But I guess that makes sense when you go into other schools. So, have you ever, got in, what's the craziest thing you ever saw? Like, you just couldn't believe? Because I know sometimes, when you're dealing with high schools and, people lose games and all that.
Yeah.
And the tensions is up. Like, what do you do? What do they want me to do? Do y'all be like this?
Well, we
got to go because y'all catch it first.
No, so it's a whole protocol when a fight or incident happens. First of all, I want my guys to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't go on the court. I tell them to go straight to commercial because we don't want to show the school in a bad light. Mm-hmm. So we go to commercial, but we still record because the AD is gonna want that film to.
Oh yeah.
The AD may ask for this film. The state may ask for this film. So I gotta do what the AD's ask me to do. And this one incident comes to mind where this school got into an altercation with Roosevelt Capital. I'm not gonna say the other school's name, but their kids left the bench area, and that's automatic suspension from state playoffs.
Oh.
So what happened was, I think I posted on social media. I said, "Oh, these guys are done. The kids left the bench," but they were acting like I made the decision from the NJSW.
Yeah, you don't have no control.
I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
and it's like I got calls from the councilman. I got calls from the principal. Like, oh, you got to take that down. They're not going to suspend our team. Like, you
get this.
you get suspended.
Yeah, this ain't have nothing to do with me.
You guys were wrong, and like they were blaming me for getting them kicked out the state playoffs. I was like, no, that was your coaching staff and lack of discipline.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just one incident that comes to mind. But you know, I see a lot of crazy things. But 99% of the time, most of the stuff is good. And like I said, we want to keep stuff in a positive light. And I don't even want to talk about anything bad.
Gotcha.
So would you ever like move since to North Carolina, since you said North Carolina has a lot, or you just keep going back and forth?
I'm in the process of my lease ends in June.
Okay.
And I've been having conversations about looking for places. I'm like, when I came in here, I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. Because I know one thing I don't want to do is cut grass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cut grass.
Yes.
I don't.
That's what I do now. It's not that fun.
No.
So you don't want to come down here and get the real country experience. You still want to be like a city boy.
I mean, yeah. I'm lazy, man. I've been there. I've been there, done that. I did not want to cut, but then again, I can always pay people to cut the grass.
That's true too. Yeah.
But
if you don't have to, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
So, what would you, looking back, right? You have, seen the good and bad side of doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing, right? Growing up, East Orange, right?
Yep.
And then you done the bad thing. You said you had one experience that was enough for you. Like, all right, I'm cool.
Scared the streets out of me.
So, what, thinking about then and thinking about where you are now, what would you look back and tell yourself to give your younger self some words of advice, or to give, young guys in East Orange or just around like some wisdom, because you've been there, you've done that, and you're experiencing more, So what's some words of wisdom or some advice that you give to your younger self or to younger kids in generation in period?
I mean, don't be afraid to think for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to do things outside the box or outside the norm. Like, people may say you're corny, or like there's people they celebrate someone coming home from jail more than someone graduating college. And like, I've experienced that in my own family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle who came out, and God bless him, he got out of jail, but they threw him a freaking parade. like he was a political prisoner or something.
Yeah.
But we don't celebrate our kids doing the right thing sometimes. We don't. I don't see parties for the kids coming home from college. They get called schoolboy, you're corny. I think growing up I might have been too corny for the street kids, too street for the corny kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in that little gray area. But I would tell kids to read as much as possible. Don't be afraid to try new things. Learn as many languages as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember I went to Africa and I was like, damn, I only know English.
Mm-hmm.
The people in Africa, they speak Portuguese, French, German, Mandarin, their own little native tongue. So I would try to go back and learn as many languages as possible. And I remember being out with my daughter one time, and we had a restaurant. She just started having a conversation in Spanish with the waiter. I was like, I had no idea you speak fluent Spanish. But she took it in high school, took it in college, and it's something that stuck with her. It's a resource she could use.
Yeah.
You never know when you need it.
Right.
Communication is key.
So how do your kids get involved with it? I know you said your daughter is part of it, so is your other two is too, or not?
Oh, I have two daughters. Yes, my youngest daughter, she helps me out. She does computer during games. She's living. So yeah, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, she knows what to do. She knows how to set up. And my oldest daughter, she probably started with me when she was in college. I started live streaming in 2017. And she used to help me do games. The computer, she could run a camera. She's not a great commentator, but she knows how to she knows how to set everything up and break it down. She could run a production.
Got you. That's dope. Well, we coming up on the tail end. We had you here for a little while, a little bit of technical difficulties, but at the end, we like to ask our guest a question, right? That was left by our previous guest, right? And this question says, do you think for the first date, it is appropriate to take her to the nursing home?
First date, nursing home.
Yeah, and I can give you some context on that too.
Okay.
So the context is, or should I?
No, give him the context.
All right, I'm gonna give you the context on it. So the context is, he wants to see where her heart is, because he wants to see if you're able to deal with an elderly person. Because when they get older, it's gonna be them too. So he wants to see how would you react to being around the smells and being around the different types of personalities. As you get older, you get dementia and stuff like that. So
yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like nursing home, nah.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, like, growing up, I was raised with my grandparents, and that's probably the first example of true love I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
When my grandfather was in the hospital, and my grandmother bought me some clippers, and she made me cut my grandfather hit,
Mm-hmm.
and made me shave him because she didn't want him looking crazy when people came to visit him.
Mm-hmm.
And when as he got older, he couldn't go to the bathroom, take care of himself. She would wash him, clean him. That's love right there.
Yeah.
For real.
That's love. And like, will some of these girls do that? I don't know. They might
It's different nowadays.
leave you where you standing. Like, these people are different.
I say, look, just date a CNA. She already there. All right, just date her, bring her some food on lunch. You know what I'm saying?
No, but like, but because you put it in that context, that hit home to me a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I have a mother that stays with me, and she suffers from mental illness, and I've had people I dated, I wouldn't deal with that. I'm like, that's my mother.
Yeah.
Some people don't have empathy.
Yeah.
I had a girl tell me, like, I don't like dating guys with young kids. I'm like, my daughter's 15, but it's like you want me to not cater to my daughter, call, take the call when she calls me. Like, nah. Well, you never gonna put me first. I'm like, oh well.
Right.
It's about my daughter. It's about my family. Just because I can't have them looking at me crazy either.
Mm-hmm.
You may come and go. She always gonna be my daughter.
Yeah. No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. So, what question would you leave for the next guest? It can be anything. Again, we interview a broad interview list. So we interview comedians, we interview people that's in the media, entrepreneurs, real estate agents, book writers, so on and so forth.
I would ask, what are you doing to help others? Because I think, like I said, from even where I'm at today, it started from volunteering. It started from just wanting to show kids, wanting to show kids in a positive light. One of the things that got me interested in photography was when I saw my picture in the paper when I was in high school. So I remember the feeling I had it was in black and white too.
Yeah.
But I just remember the feeling I had just opening up and seeing my picture in the paper. And I was like, wow, that's a good shot. I look like Mike Singletary out there.
Yeah.
How old was you with this shot?
I was probably 17, senior in high school.
What was you playing?
Playing middle linebacker.
Okay then.
Yeah, I like to hit people.
So
I was violent.
we know one of your daughters was good in golf.
But they both play golf. The older
That's what I was
one,
going to ask you about.
Oh.
the older one is probably more into it. I'm trying to get the younger one back into it. Again, like this golf has done wonders for me. Like that's what I do during the summertime. I shoot golf, and I work with a lot of black golf groups, the New Jersey Brothers Golf Fellowship, the Duck Rest of New Jersey, which is a female golf group, black female golf group. I just did one of the biggest black tournaments in the country, the original T Golf Classic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's in Crystal Springs with Wendell Haskins, and it's honoring George Grant,
Mm-hmm.
who invented the golf tee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a black dentist in Harvard, and if you do some research on George Grant, inventing the golf tee was one of the least things he did.
Right.
You know, he's a black dentist, one of the first professors at Harvard. You know, you talk way back.
Yeah.
Jim Crow. You know,
Yeah.
you had white patients coming to visit him. He's probably one of the first professors at that school. So he has a rich history and a rich story. And even with golf, it just helped create opportunities for me. Like the people I meet, the business I get. I might be the poorest person going there, but it's just always networking and opportunities present themselves, whether it's photo shoots, Sweet 16 parties, and just meeting the right people, connecting, and making bigger opportunities.
So what drives that hunger for knowledge for you? Because I see you have a wealth of knowledge in you, and you have a wealth of wisdom as well. So what was that one thing like growing up where you always was hungry for knowledge?
I want to say I was always this way. Like my mother was a school teacher, so she probably instilled some values in me early, as far as just penmanship and just studying habits and getting your work done. And I was raised with my grandparents because my mom has some mental health issues, but she's still involved in my life. I still care for her. And don't think people with mental health are crazy. She's crazy like a fox. She There's things I'm still learning and discovering about my mother, because I can't have a normal conversation like me and you are having. I may say something, she may go off into left field, but she may come back. So you have to listen and kind of read between the lines and see what she's saying. And it's not always easy, because my mother's a piece of work, but I love her and I just roll with it.
No, that's dope. That is dope, though. Well, Leon, you at the end?
We at the end, man. It's time.
It's been a pleasure, man. I really enjoyed this, man. And
Thank you for coming out, man.
I want to see you guys grow and be on a big platform like Joe Budden. And Joe and Jada. But you guys are doing a great thing, and maybe you guys start talking about some ratchet stuff.
I know, right? I know.
I was down there and I did such and such and such.
Nah,
man, we try to promote a lot of positivity, man.
Keep it positive.
Yeah, we try to.
Because I feel like, we feel like it's already enough out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not enough of this for everyday people. Talk about their change mindset, meaning that you came from an accountant and you dipped and you made what in the media out of nothing, and look how far it grew. You know what I'm saying? That's a change mindset, because it might be a person right now trying to figure out, hey, what they good at. So to hear your mindset on change mindset, all we're trying to do is just pivot everybody's mind. Hey, you ain't gotta be stuck. Yeah,
and I would tell kids, never stop educating yourself. Never be afraid to learn. Like some kids, like, oh man, I'm glad out of high school, But nah, no matter where you work at, whether it's McDonald's or you could be a freaking garbage man, you're gonna have to read and learn something. So it's just like never limit yourself. Never say you can't do it. Always big yourself up first. You gotta have positive self motivation first.
Yep, man. And with that, man, it's been another episode of Change Mindset, man. Don't stay stagnant, man. Pivot your mind.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.